says I'm live. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. And then obviously we need to get some people checking in here. But yeah, replay crew. This is original. No need for the replay. I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes to get notifications going out. If you're here, do me a favor, check in. We can go from there. That's right. A human being blew his nose. Still waiting for people to pop in. Don't know if this will be for. I don't know if YouTube will block this video, to be honest with you. Because, alright, looks like there might be one person in here. Make sure you check in. Not sure if I'm live or not. And it's so bright that I can't even read the text. It's crazy. It's crazy. If it says there's a couple people in here, so go ahead and you know what? This might be a good chance for me to try and adjust that whole chat thing. So this one of these buttons, chat filter, and all messages. There we go. All right. Says there's two people in here, but I'll believe it when I see it. We'll talk about some Iran stuff. I'm reevaluating one of my positions on boots on the ground based on some information that I have received this morning. It's going to be an interesting thing going out there in the Persian Gulf. Right. It says there's one, then it says there's nobody. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. That way the algorithm can't like say, no, you weren't here. No, that didn't happen. It's not just useful. It actually tells the algorithm that things are worth watching. And if nobody does it because they're lazy, then the algorithm won't show this to anybody. Now it says there's 5 people here. Somebody check in. Check in, mofo. I think I'm gonna try and drink some coffee. Start falling asleep, and I got some of that caffeine gum. It's pretty good. There's no way. It says there's 14 people in here, and no one has typed anything in the chat. This is not possible. This is not possible at all. Someone type something in the damn chat. Either that or now where there's like 18 people and there's nothing in the chat. Okay, wait a minute. There's finally. What do we got here? The something. I can't read your name. I apologize. It's too much distance between me and this thing here. But I do appreciate you guys typing stuff. All right, so as usual, questions or big things you want talked about, use all caps so that there's a chance that I can read it. So I got 12 people in here. We're going to go. So a couple of things have happened. With what's about to happen over there in Iran. And my initial assessment was that we would never do any kind of boots on the ground type stuff. That has changed, but not in the traditional sense. I was doing a little reading this morning based off of some intel that I got my hands on. Yeah, it's open source. You could find it if you really know how to look for it. But I keep getting this burning smell, like electrical fire, and I don't have any gauges causing problems. I don't know what is. Let me turn the heater off. Maybe the heater is doing something weird. But the battle plan has changed a little bit with the Suez Canal. Or not the Suez, the Straits of Hormuz. So what a lot of people don't really know is that the government of Iran has fortified 3 islands that are out there near the entrance, near the Gulf side entrance to the Straits of Hormuz. We'll just call those the Straits because I don't like saying Hormuz. And so there are 3 very heavily fortified islands that are there near the mouth of the strait on the Gulf side. And the whole idea is that the Iranians and we actually had been pounding some of those islands as well, because there was an extensive military buildup. If you ever take out like Google Maps or even Google Earth and find these 3 islands, and then zoom down to like street level. I mean, they don't have street view, obviously, but zoom down to street level and you'll see fortifications all along the edge of the island. And it's pretty extensive. It's not just whatever, you know. The Iranians tried many years ago to explain them as embankments for high tides and rough weather. But if you know anything about that part of the world, that really doesn't happen. They don't really have any hurricane problems over there. And so these are basically military, there's a massive military buildup that has happened over many years on those islands, those 3 particular islands. And they're oddly in shape of a triangle. Do me a favor, guys, if you can hit that thumbs up button and also put a 1 in the chat to wake it up. It'd greatly appreciate it. It says there's only 5 people in here. We just had 20 in here. So obviously the algorithm's playing with me. But anyway, so I'm going to keep going. So what the U.S. government is doing right now is they're sending, you probably have heard, you know, that they're sending Marines. They're sending a Marine Expeditionary Unit over there, also known as a MU. And, you know, there's the terrain, and it's going to bloodbath, and 5,000 Marines. First of all, a MU is right around 2,500 Marines, and they're not all infantrymen. You know what I'm saying? They're not all ground pounders. So, and thank you for doing that, guys. I appreciate you. It kind of wakes that chat up. See, now it jumps right back up to 10. The algorithm's just always playing with people. But anyway, so the MU is right around 2,500 people. It's got multiple support mechanisms in it, multiple support units in it. I won't say how many Marines are actually ground pounders, basically. But here's the magic. So the ship that they're on, I believe it's the Tripoli. That ship has actually come under that, and it's they're called America class landing crafts, and those 2 ships were under a lot of scrutiny by the Navy, because what they did was they took out the well decks. They got rid of the well decks out of these things, right? The well decks is where the landing craft utilities, small boats, landing craft air cushion, they can all shoot out the back of it, you know. Armored floating vehicles can come shooting out the back of this thing, right? That's been a traditional staple of the Marine Corps for a long time. When the Navy built these 2 ships, they really caused a ruckus. But what they did was, because they didn't build them with the bay, that made a lot of room for a lot of things, like full up surgical suites, more ammunition storage, more fuel storage, more cargo. It really freed up a lot of space. And so what that also enabled them to do was to put 20 F-35Bs on the top of this thing. So it's basically a miniature aircraft carrier with 2,500 Marines on it. Now, the Marines themselves would be deployed on Ospreys. This thing is loaded with Ospreys and CH-53s as well. So it's going, they basically, there's no need for, in this particular case, in this particular mission set, you know, why would you want to attack a beach that is heavily fortified when you can fly right over the top of it, land in the middle, and punch your way out? And so that's kind of the mentality behind the new doctrine that the Marine Corps has on the use of these particular ships. So with that said, what the idea is that they could literally pound the crap out of one of these islands and then land and then take it over and do temporary operations out of it, and then just get picked up and jump right to another island or come back to the ship. This is a game changer for the Straits, because they would be able to control the what would that be? That would be the east part of the entrance to the Straits. This would kind of get those insurance companies to like, hey, listen, guys, we're doing this. We got skin in the game with this. And do I like the idea of boots on the ground? No, I do not. But I do like the idea of U.S. Marines exercising doctrine, tactics, techniques, and procedures that they've been designing for the last 20 years. They've been working on these techniques and these tactics since I retired, and I still have, basically the Shipborne Doctrine book. It's sitting on the counter at the house I'm going to now. Very interesting stuff, but what they can, because they're able to do that, they're also looking at the fact that if they were to destroy that ship, that it wouldn't be a $40 billion aircraft carrier that got destroyed. And the thing is, it's not just that ship either. It's got an Aegis class cruiser that goes along with it. It's got a submarine that follows it around. This is all open source stuff. You just have to know where to look for it, and you have to have, I guess, the desire to know it. It's got a couple of regular, more traditional landing craft type of, or landing ships, should I say. It actually has, I think it's got a destroyer that follows it around too. So they go out as a task force. So it's not just out just doing whatever the hell they want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty ingenious, this doctrine. I was reading it last night and this morning. And while I don't like the idea of our troops, being on the ground, I prefer the island, scenario to mainland Iran scenario. That's for sure. That's for sure. And let's face it, we're committed. We're already committed. There's no turning this ship around, okay? We're fully committed, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And let's face it, this is the Marines' mission. This is their job. Do I like it? No, I don't. Do I understand it? 100%, completely. So, see, there's got another island hopping campaign. And also, I see good morning buddy from somebody who's a member. I think that's Tim. I'm not sure. It's hard to read. But, so we can fully expect the Marines to land on one of these islands. Hopefully they play it smart. We've got enough aviation assets in the air sorry about that. I've got this thing hooked to the Bluetooth, and YouTube's trying to make me watch another movie. But hopefully they've got enough. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they've got enough brain power to know that they need to just bomb the crap out of these islands. And the thing is, what they'll do is they'll literally, The Marines have anti-ship missiles now. It's pretty crazy. You know, they can airlift ATACMS systems in there, and I think the what is it? The FR3CS system. They can just helo those suckers right in. Just get a couple of 53s and boom, 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 drop them right in there. They can helo in artillery pieces. This is what they train to do all the damn time. You know, I mean, unfortunately, this also, we kind of stole that ship and those Marines from the region. They're called the 31st MU. They're the Marine Corps' only forward deployed Marine Expeditionary Unit 24/7. But that's all. I'm not telling anybody anything classified here. But they stole that ship and those Marines from, and that battle group, or should I say task force, from the area that is responsible for Korea, Taiwan. Are you getting my drift? I hope so. I hope so, brother. I don't know who wrote this paragraph down here, but I can't edit that Iran was not a imminent threat to the United States. I don't know. One, thank you for the post. That's what I'm gonna tell you, bro, because I'm not gonna like demean anybody for saying what they believe. I'm gonna flip that coin. Talking about something that has no relevance is a complete waste of your time. You know, I hope I'm reading. I only read the second paragraph because the first paragraph was just way too much. But saying that something's not a threat after we've committed to a whole buttload of stuff is almost un-American. It's almost un-American. The fact that you're using your right to say what you want, that First Amendment right, 100% love it. But it's like, and I hope I'm reading this right. I hope I am. If I'm not, I apologize right now. But we're starting to get a class of Americans that they fall right into that old saying, methinks, I'm probably gonna say this wrong, I'm probably gonna Americanize it, but methinks you complain too much. Did I say that right? Somebody put in the chat if I got it wrong. We've literally got a bunch of people who read something on the internet, think that it's right, feel that it's right, and then have to complain about it, even though we're days into stuff that is irreversible. At no point in time will the United States government go, we're wrong. Everybody turn around, come on, let's go home. It's not going to happen. There are way too many geopolitical variables. And I hate to say this, but people might want to remember that this wasn't like, the one I heard this morning was that the U.S. is, Trump is Netanyahu's puppet. We finally have a president who will do the things that Israel wants it to do. I don't know. It's foolish. It's absolutely 100% foolish. They've already proven that they had uranium that was built up to 65%. You only need 25 to 35 for nuclear power. There's no other reason to do it. In the last negotiations with Iran, they literally came to the table and said, this is what we have, this is what we're doing, what are you going to do about it? And Iran has never once come to the table and said, hey man, we just want a McDonald's, we just want a Burger King, maybe a Taco Bell. People keep forgetting that Iran has been ran by the IRGC since the 1970s. Okay? Islamic Revolutionary Guard. Islamic Revolutionary Guard. These people are zealots. These people are fanatical religious people that are in the IRGC. And they set it up like that. Like the regular army is like, doo-doo-doo-doo. You know, they're like average U.S. private, you know, who thinks that, hey, this is a great job. I can't wait to get my college money. No. The IRGC are full of religious fanatics. And the funny thing is a lot of people don't understand that, you know, the way their battle strategy is set up. They purposely, I want to say it was about 10 years ago. Who is that? Who is that just sent me a message or something? Hold on a second. Let me see what that is. I mean, I don't want to get myself on a live down here. I also don't want to be like Jess. I don't know what. Jester just called me gay. I'm not sure why, but no, you're gay. You're gay, Jester. You're the gayest of gay infinity. Anyway, so a lot of people don't understand Iranian doctrine, and the Iranian doctrine is pretty simple. There's no off switch. Okay? So what they did probably 10, 12 years ago was they created this doctrine. I won't say it in Arabic because I won't be able to say it right and you won't understand it anyway. But basically they broke up their country into 31 military districts. All right. And here are the rules. You have your own district commander, like a prefect, you know, almost like the Roman army, that kind of thing, right? Or the Roman government. And that prefect was responsible for everything in his district, okay? And the idea is that he has his own supply chain, he has his own weaponry, he has his own people, his own vehicle. He runs that place, okay, that district, right? And the orders are simple. In the event that someone cuts the head off the snake, you know, you don't have the supreme leader, you don't have the president, you don't have the foreign minister, you don't have the general of the armies of the IRGC, you know what I'm saying, the commander of the IRGC. We wiped those guys out last week, right? Well, their doctrine is simple. In the event that there's no communications, just keep fighting. There's no off switch, okay? So they literally have to get orders from their hires, okay, that we keep killing in order for them to stop fighting. So there's literally no off switch. Now, we can blow up all their stuff, but you got to remember, these people are religious fanatics, and they're going to do what they're going to do based off of their beliefs, because a lot of people don't pay attention that, you know, basically Islam, you know, mixes politics with religion. They are intertwined, they are intermingled. There is no separation, which is why in our Constitution there is the separation of church and state. Making sense? Hoping so. So with all that said, basically you've got these guys out there that are going to fight to probably the death, or until they realize that there's no way they can win, you know, and then they might go looking for 72 virgins. I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's all about the will to fight. So we got to create a scenario where there's, you know, it's not about, you know, who's got the more bullets or rockets or missiles or drones. That's attrition warfare. That is not what's happening here, and that's why the Iranian army and IRGC are losing so badly. Sorry, I can't read your comments right now. they're losing so badly because our forces understand that there's no off switch to each one of these districts. So they're literally targeting all of the assets within the districts. If you ain't got no trucks to link up, you ain't gonna link up. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the pew pew in your pocket or on your back, or you know, you can have all that stuff, and it won't matter because you're in the middle of the damn desert. All you can do is drink water and eat couscous and shawarma if you're lucky. So this island hopping campaign, we'll see how that works out. I fully expect it to happen. Hopefully we won't have any major incidents out there. Hopefully they will just flatten these islands. I mean, they do have, and it's kind of funny too, because they literally have, like on all these islands, they actually have like an airfield, hangars. They have it's fully military built up. But if you go in and you don't destroy the infrastructure, and you just do a clear and sweep, you basically, I mean, they have no way to repopulate the island once you knock all this stuff out. Now, unfortunately, there are some civilian factors on that island, but I mean, with coin operations that we've done in the past, we kind of understand this. I don't know, maybe we all put them on a big boat and send them back to the mainland. Something. I could actually see like a permanent military presence on these 3 islands, simply to make sure that this never happens again. Kind of make it maybe like a UN base. That could be something, I'm not sure. Man, I really wish I could read the texts. The nest. I can't read that, man. I can't read it. It's not in all caps. I can't read it. Someone says, "What's up, LP?" I think that I don't know who that is. Son of a biscuit. Can you explain your perspective with God dang it, I can't read it. So many of the U.S. allies are falling away or not stopping, not showing up in their plate, in their place, maybe. Yeah, I can explain that. That was really difficult to read. I'm sorry. There's so much glare, and there's the distance here. So yeah, well, let's back up like 2 years, okay? I want you to think about our allies, okay, in NATO, okay? I want you to really, just because there's your problem, all right? Let's talk about our allies. Oh, let's start with France. France has always been the thorn in the side of America because France, well, we know why they wear brown pants. But it's more than that with France. France is a socialist nation. Socialist. Do you remember the what was it? Man, what was that? Somebody put it in the chat, the name of that accord, where we're gonna, like, the green peace accord, something like that. We're gonna sign on to cut back on global air pollution or something to that effect. Somebody put that in the chat. Where was that supposed to be signed? In Paris, France. Yeah. Who else signed that little deal? Germany, Spain, the Netherlands. Germany, basically flat out socialist. They talk a good game, but they're flat out socialist. Taxing the crap out of their people. Power. How many of these countries have gotten rid of all of their like all of their nuclear power. One of these nations actually had to bring their power plant back online, a nuclear power plant, because during the winter their people were like freezing because they couldn't get enough power to heat their homes. So basically all of our allies are socialist nations, and the one nation we always thought we could count on, the UK, you know what I'm saying, or the nations of the UK, you know, the states of the UK. We always thought we could depend on them. They're our greatest allies in Europe. Yes, totally socialist now. Remember the UK? 12,000 people arrested and imprisoned by the thought police for making angry posts on Facebook. Remember that? Remember that UK? You remember the UK that's full of, like, oh, by the way, that street used to be all nothing but frickin' mom and pop, you know, English businesses, and now they're all shawarma shops. Remember that? You remember that UK? Do you remember the UK where you can't carry a pocket knife? You remember that UK? So our allies are all talk, which is why we're having to do this all by ourselves. It is very possible that this was actually all part of the plan, in which we would say, allies, you have a vested interest in ships moving through the straits. Come and defend the straits. This all sounds very copacetic. This all sounds very real, straightforward, kind of common sense, right? What if the whole plan was to create the need for a military presence in that region, in that one specific little spot? And because no one showed up to help, they now have no rights to be part of that. Why they would do that, don't know. I'm not a geopolitician. My references in the world are only about things that I know about. So I would say that is probably the perspective. I would say that that's probably the thing to remember, that our allies, to include Canada, want nothing to do with this American war. But here's the thing, when we're done, they're gonna want to be our best buds. They're gonna want to reap the benefits. What those are, don't know, couldn't tell you. But you know it's gonna happen. That's how this always works out. Ever since America stepped away from the British and became their own country in a short 250 years ago, everything we do, everyone wants to ride in on our coattails. They want the global advantage without putting in the global work. And don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I am not about the United States being the world's police force. Absolutely 100% hate the idea. I was a young Marine on active duty in the 80s when they started doing that crap, when they started making rules of engagement to people who have just been freshly trained to kill people. This is their job. We are going to go forward and we're going to destroy everything. This is our job. And we're going to stop when they tell us to stop. This is our job. Oh, no. Now you're going to be policemen. You're only going to shoot if they shoot at you. Oh, no. You're only going to shoot if they raise their weapon. Oh, no. You're only going to shoot if they look at you in anger. And so it's very interesting that this whole global police force thing, the talk of this being the global police is a joke. So I say I got some caps in there. Let me take a gander at that. Pamela LocalPrepper, holy shnikes, brother. I have not seen you since Christ was a corporal. I see you on X all the time, brosif. I do. I'm glad you're here. All of our NATO allies will be Muslim countries in the next 10 years. Well, I don't know if they'll probably never be part of NATO. I don't know of NATO, and I'm not saying I'm even going to guess. I don't know if NATO's even going to be a thing in the next 10 years. But what a lot of people have forgotten is that all of the surrounding countries around Iran all wanted this to happen. Not a single one has said stop. Not a single one. I think what was it? I think Turkey said, don't be shooting that crap over here. We will blow you the fuck up. Excuse my language. I think they're the ones that basically said, we don't play your reindeer games. We're not going to be part of this, but we're not going to do. Keep throwing that shit over here and see what happens. And it stopped. The other thing too is people have to remember that the Iranians aren't your average Muslims. They are an Arab state. Okay, very similar to Saudi Arabia. Okay, Islam is the common religion, but there is a real difference between Arabs and Muslims. And then you've got the Sunnis, then you've got the Shias. So you really have to understand the tribal backgrounds behind this. But they started launching these long-range weapons out at people who ain't got nothing to do nothing. And then they try to justify it. It's like, oh, by the way, we just hit this hotel because we know that there's our Americans hiding in it. It's like, really? Interesting. I don't think the host nation is going to tolerate that crap. And they didn't, and none of them did. And now lots of them are engaged, but they're defensive, which is exactly what they should be doing, just defending their country. So, interesting. It's interesting, but all of these Arab states wanted this to happen. This is not the puppet of Israel. It's such a freaking joke. Anybody who says that has no, even the slightest inkling of how things work in the world. So, let's see here. Somebody typed something down at the bottom. I was talking to a Brit, and he thinks they are centrists. Yeah, there's a lot. Iran is playing. They're playing the victim right now. So wait a minute. Say that again. So, does the Brit think that the UK are centrists, or does the Brit think that Iran are centrists? I want to know, bro. Put that in the comment. I watched shit to get bombed. They wanted to get bombed. Are you asking me if Iran wanted to get bombed? No, they didn't want to get bombed. All of the other Arab states that surround it. You have to understand. Listen, there's a giant grain of truth in some of the media that talks about Iran as the chief promoter of terrorism in the region. Okay, the Houthis, Hezbollah. What was the third one? What's the third one? Up there in Lebanon. They're all funded and armed by the Iranian government. They sat there and did nothing for over a week because they didn't know what to do. And then then they realized, wait, we need to attack Israel, because if we don't, then, we're just going to be like nothing. We're going to be like nobodies. Where are we going to get our boom boom sticks from now? So they had to do that, which basically only pissed the Israelis off. And now there's actually, a ground attack, or it's not an exercise, a ground effort being pushed up into Lebanon right now to push people back, and it's going to kick the Lebanese out of their house. Because these people that's what they do. They just move into their backyard, set up their mortars and rockets. You know? So now they've got to kick all these people out of South Lebanon because of freaking, damn it, I can never remember the name of that group. Somebody put it in the chat. What do we got here? Some high team. Hey, what's going on, Ian? Third things UK are socialists, not socialists. Oh yeah. That's the drinking your Brit friend is drinking the Kool-Aid. He's drinking the Kool-Aid. You know, there's a serious problem with any government who loses its prime minister every single year. Every year the prime minister steps down because they get way too into this stuff, and someone has to take his place or her place a couple of times. Every year. You know, the UK government is like flat out. I mean, you've got the the Reform Party, old Nigel Farage, that's gaining strength. That could be a thing, and that should be a thing, because Nigel is smart, and he could be your next prime minister. But the thing is the socialists are so embedded, the mindsets. You know, it's like, I don't know, it's something between utopian and kumbaya. But, oh, by the way, you can't burn trash in your yard, and that's a £1,000 fine, and you're going to get 6 months in the prison for doing that. It's like, whoa. Yeah, how about a ticket from the local sheriff and a slap on the wrist and pay $25, maybe a couple hundred, something, you know? No, you go directly to prison. Do not pass go, do not collect $200, go straight to prison. That's the way they're doing stuff over there. That is not being centrist. That's a socialist government. You know, it's right up there with that joke, you know, that meme that's running around of, you know, the president of this little Hispanic country. What is it? You play your music too loud, go to jail. You know? You make, what is it? You cook your meat, you overcook your meat, you go to jail. You undercook your meat, you go to jail. That's the kind of crap that you're going through over there. It's absolutely insane. And some people are like, okay, because it's not affecting them yet. I'm going to bet that Brit that you were talking to, that the situation has not affected him yet. Once he can't afford his rent, he probably owns his home. But once he can't afford his rent, once he can't afford to pay his power bill, yeah. There was some stupid stuff that goes on over there. I don't want to get sidetracked here, but I just thought about like if you want to like bring in TV with an antenna, you got to have a license for that. You got to pay for that. It's over the air. You got to pay for it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But getting back on the whole Iran thing, all of the Persian states wanted this to happen. So it's happening. We're not going to turn around. More assets are just steaming towards this thing. You know, they haven't really talked about, I haven't looked at today's brief. It normally comes out, the CENTCOM brief normally comes out around 8 a.m. every morning. But it's normally like a 4.5, 5-minute video from the CENTCOM commander. It doesn't really tell you very much. I think, you know, and then Pete Hegseth, they're just beating the crap out of him because he yelled at some reporters. So he must be losing hits. You know, at a certain point, people just get tired of listening to the jibber jabber, you know. All right, I might not actually be able to read a text. I'm at a stoplight. I'm at a stoplight. Oh yeah, coming to a complete stop. All right, it's so bright. Damn it. All Chinese government. Shit, I still can't read it. Business, freedom of speech. Yeah, I believe that. Isn't bombing. You ignore what? I can't read it. Isn't bombing Lebanon you? Oh, I'm an ignorant ghoul. Oh my God. First and foremost, name calling is the last tool of the weak. You are a weak little person. You went directly to that. Also, ghoul is a lefty talking word. So thank you for watching. Maybe subscribe. Maybe you'll learn something. If not, you know where the door is. You're free to hang out. I mean, unless you say something that's just like against YouTube or, whatever's, somebody can report you for doing it, that kind of thing. I'm not telling anybody to do that. I'm telling, grow the fuck up. The world is a hard place. If you are, I got into this yesterday with somebody who was like, oh, be boomer, your generation spent 20 years screwing up the world, and then you're mad at millennials because they didn't do things exactly how you wanted them to do them, and then you go and check out their page, and it's like some kind of crazy Japanese cartoon thingy. And I get it. Bugs Bunny's been gone for a while, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these Japanese cartoons are the Bugs Bunny of today, so I get it. But then when you start to try to talk to the person, it's just name calling and speaking arrogant. They clearly know nothing about the world whatsoever. And I hope that you're not that person. I can't read your name, and someone call you out. The person who says ghoul, you ghoul. Like, I like war. I was in the Marine Corps for 20 years. I liked my job. I liked the people. I did get sent to bad places to do bad things to bad people. That was my job. No one said I liked it. Okay? I just liked the people and I liked the job. I didn't like the end result. I think the people that use words like ghoul are the same people that, I've talked about this before. They're the same people that have never been punched in the face before. That they don't know what the real world is about. And while we can hope for a kinder, gentler world, the truth is there will always be bad people out there. It's just the way it is. And if you think I glamorized war, ghoul person, you're a fool. Because you know nothing about me and you know nothing about war. So maybe go back to your Xbox or pretending to hide behind your computer at work. Or better yet, playing on your phone on YouTube. Maybe go find some place where they can sing Kumbaya and let the adults do the work. Because that's what's happening in the world. Whether we like it or not, that's what's happening in the world. So, I'm going to go back here. Let's see, it's all the text is too small. All the text is too small. I'm going to have to come back and read it. There's nothing in the caps. No idea with this. I don't know. I can't read all that. I want to thank you for writing that paragraph. I truly do. But I can't read that. Put it in all caps or I can't read it. How long have we been doing this? 49 minutes. We're edging up on that time. We are edging up on that time. I think I'm going to listen to some Joe Rogan or something. That ought to piss off every lefty on planet. Even Joe Rogan's not happy about this war. That's not a war. But he's also not screaming bloody murder. He's also not losing his frickin' mind. Which I do think is kind of funny how the left, who started More wars in the last 50 years. Not a joke. Check it out. Are like anti-war. It's like, oh, let's go start a war. No, 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 we don't like war. Oh, too late. It's kind of a joke. You know, we haven't done something. If you love your country, put a 1 in the chat. America. I'm gonna drink some coffee, talk some smack. I'm gonna pay some bills. Okay, guys. As you know, I am an avid lover and what's the word I'm looking? Shiller, professional shiller for Refuge Medical. But today, I want to talk to you guys about Kentucky Sustainable Living. Their company is growing right now, and there should be a link in the description someplace. And if not, I'll come back later and put one in here. Or you can just Google it, Kentucky Sustainable Living. Not a joke. And they're selling some pretty good. They're selling some pretty good kit. They're competing with Refuge Medical, which I love and I will never stop promoting. But today, today only? No. I want you guys to take a look at Kentucky Sustainable Living, and if they've got something on their site that you like, get it, because it's probably going to be cheap right now, and they haven't been affected by any kind of global shipping price changes right now, and it's kind of a win-win. It's kind of a win-win. Now, you can actually save a little bit of money if you use the code, the LocalPrepper, what is it, project, LocalPrepper project, or the local. I'm gonna have to get them to change that since I rebranded. But right now, it's either the LocalPrepper project, all one word, or it's LocalPrepper project. I can't remember. I think I put it in the description. Go there, do that. Because everybody needs a couple of tourniquets. I need to get one in here. I got one in my bag, no problem. But I need to have one in the car. Like 24/7 is what I need. All right, let's see here. Go back to Granny's basement. Laugh out loud. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? The member wrote that? Somebody must have wrote it. Go back to Granny's basement. Yeah, I know nobody's talking to me about that, but I mean, it's true. It's true. We've got, there are more, and it's getting better. Okay, so let's flip the coin on this, right? So there are more millennials living. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's Gen Zers now. It used to be the millennials. Okay, so the millennials are the ones we used to bust on all the time, right? Millennials they were like rebellious in the beginning, and then they're like, oh crap, Dad was right. I think it's time to buy a house. I think it's time to start a family. You know, yeah, crap. And I see this in the 6 kids that I have. I have 6 productive children, okay? Jobs, homes, property, grandchildren, okay? Was I a great dad? No, I don't think I was. A few of them think I was. There's a couple that think I was just this mean guy. But in the end, they all knew that I was right. I would always tell my kids when they were about to like leave the house, because they had 2 choices. They could either get a job or they could go to college or the military. But they weren't going to stay under my roof just cuz, right? And some of them liked it, some of them didn't. But in the end, they all came back to me and told me that I was right, that the world didn't care about their feelings or what they thought was right. It wasn't for me, it was for them, and they all know that. So hopefully you do the same thing with your kids. But we do have a problem with the Gen Zers and whatever the next generation is, because we don't want to keep them down, but we definitely do need to get them out of the basement. We definitely need to get them off the vape pens, and we need to take away their Xboxes and define them a skill. You know what I'm saying? A technical trade. Something that they can do other than flipping burgers. Because they're not happy there. These people, the kids are not happy there. So that's what we should be doing right now. All right, let's see here. Iran is not a new war. Well, I don't know why you're saying that, because I never said that Iran was a new war. I don't think I did anyway. Iran has always been a problem. Okay? They've always been a problem since the 70s. People should know that Iran used to be an American ally in the Middle East. That's why they fly Huey gunships. That's why they have old Cobra gunships. That's why they have F-14s. You know? That's why they have some C-130s. They kind of mix different countries' stuff together. And so I think it's funny when people just don't understand that. But, you know, Iran has been a problem for a while. So it's not a new war, because it's not a war, and I don't want to sound like, you know, a war is the full committal of a nation to do something to another nation. That's not what's happened. I won't argue the idiosyncrasies or the requirements for Congress. I won't talk about the War Powers Act that says the president has 60 days. You know, it's a moot point. It's a dumb argument, because men and women are out there putting their lives on the line, doing the job that they've been trained to do, that they signed up and wanted to do. And I hope that they're very good at it, and I hope that they send as many of these people that need to go to their God as quickly as possible, so that they can come home. That's what I hope for. All right, nice paragraph that I'll never read. Truly appreciate you. I don't vote for either. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I appreciate your comment, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not that I don't care. It's just, you know, I got into this conversation, and hopefully I can wrap this around and make people understand. I got into this conversation with this guy yesterday about how badass the Iranian F-14s are. Now, I am a lover of the F-14 Tomcat. One of the baddest aircraft ever made. The American version of it, Phoenix missiles, 300-mile range on. I mean, they can just be like, boop, nope, there's a guy over there, beep, 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 and then launch the missile. Okay, in 5 minutes, and then the missile just boom, blows the plane up. Unbelievable. Could track 12 targets and kill 12 targets simultaneously. Badass. Staple of the 1970s and 80s U.S. Naval Aviation Force. Badass plane. But up against 4th and 5th generation fighters, doesn't have a chance in hell. Doesn't have even the slightest iota of a chance in hell. And I tried to make this guy understand it, but then I quickly realized that all he really wanted to do was pretend he was right and push Iranian propaganda. That's all he wanted to do. It didn't matter that he was wrong. It didn't matter that he, you know, this plane must be so much better because it has big wings and a pointy nose. And my nose, its nose is pointier than your airplane's noses are, so it must be so much faster and better, and it will kill you, inshallah, you know? And so you kind of have to understand these people a little bit and realize that a lot of the things that they're saying are emotionally driven. It's like right up there when I was in the Gulf War, they told that every day they told us they were going to paint the desert floor with the blood of America. How'd that work out? How'd that work out in the 100-hour war? In 100 hours. How'd that work out? There's really something to be said for the U.S. military when the chains have been taken off of it. When it's given a mission, it said, accomplish this mission. These are your objectives. We will not restrain you. Don't break the Geneva Convention. Go. And even here in America, watching the videos, you have no concept, unless you've been through it, you have no concept of what their capabilities are, of what they can and will do to accomplish the mission. You know, Pete says a lot, but I don't think he relays the information. He's very driven by it. He's very absolutely 100% right. But the problem is he's talking to an audience of people that don't care. They don't believe a word he says, because he's not supporting their agenda, because he's not being this kinder, gentler guy. And so anybody who talks like that about war, okay, or I'm saying this wrong. Anybody who talks touchy-feely, kinder, gentler about war, then they live in a bubble. They don't know. And I hope they never do know. I hope they never truly understand what those words actually mean and what it means to do those things. Because the idea is that we send our best to wage war so that their sons and daughters don't have to do it. It's really that simple. It's really as an American thing can be. But we're so infused. Our society is so infused with these people that don't understand the real world, but like to play like they do. So, all right, let's see here. Bubbles popped. Let's see here. Again, he's a grifter. Who's a grifter? Who's saying that? Is that Grumpy Acres? No shit. What's going on, Broseph? Freedom is not free. Totally true. Okay, guys, we've been going at this for 1 hour, and that's normally my cutoff. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I don't know if I'll go live again tonight. I don't know if I'm making any videos. I think I got a video that's supposed to pop today or something. I can't remember. Maybe it was yesterday. I'm not sure. Go watch another video. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you.